a couple of pictures I'd seen hanging on a wall one day about a guy called Chief Joseph, and Chief Joseph, not Chief Joseph, Bigfoot, Chief Bigfoot. And Bigfoot was the chief of the Hunkpapa tribe, who was the tribe that was massacred at a place called Wounded Knee up in South Dakota. And I read the book Burying My Heart at Wounded Knee, and I thought, God, what a very, very sad story. And because like, as an Irish person, we could relate to the Indians in a way, because we used to always play cowboys and Indians as kids. And they tell you television doesn't affect kids, but when we were young, I mean, all we had was the Audie Murphys and the John Waynes and all these guys who wore the big silver stars and had the big silver fancy guns, and we always thought they were the heroes. But it's amazing to grow up, and as history unfolds to you, that you realise that they weren't the heroes, and they were actually depicting a wrong side of history to you, and that the reality of the fact was that you had a people who were indigenous to the land, who were being thrown off the land. And yes, I mean, I'm sure if it was to happen to me today, I'd end up doing some terrible things that I would never ever have dreamt that I would have had to do. But I wrote this song about the American Indians, and it's a tribute to the American Indians because, as I said, growing up long, we used to play cowboys and Indians, and if you were a cowboy, when you got shot, you could count to 10, you could get up and run around again. But if you were an Indian and you got shot, you were dead and you were out of the game. And that was funny because we had our own prejudice over here in Ireland. And I think that the thing that amazes me about this song is that anytime I'm ever playing a concert somewhere and I play this song, the Irish people have such an affiliation towards the Indians because we knew it from playing cowboys and Indians. And I wrote it from the point of view of being an Irishman, because basically I only know what I read and what I seen. But 2 years after I saw these photographs in an exhibition over in London, we were driving down through South Dakota, and I came across the very same picture of this Chief Bigfoot on the wall of this travel centre. And I said to the lady behind the counter, I said, I know, I've seen that photograph before. And she said, that's Bigfoot, she said, and Wounded Knee is just down the road here. And so we went down to see it, and when I was there, I wrote this song. And it took 2 years after reading the book, and here I was all of a sudden at Wounded Knee. And this is a song, it's a song called Nothing Has Changed, because I asked my wife, how could people do such a thing? And she said, Billy, she said, nothing ever changes, that we still do it to different people all over the world, and we just never seem to learn. So the song is called Nothing Has Changed. And again, it's to the memory of all the Native American people, which Dave, you said you're a part. I saw you lying there, dead in the snow, in a picture that was taken so many years ago. And it hung on the wall like some big old head, a trophy to the men who shot you all dead. In the picture before, men were drinking a toast. They were probably boasting over who shot the most, as they held up their chins and they stuck out their chests, as they posed for their photographs in their Sunday best. And all of you heroes, you're now dead and gone. You're only remembered in stories and songs. Yesterday's people on yesterday's plains. Everything's different now. Nothing has changed. You were doing the ghost dance, that's how it read. You were calling the spirits of your warrior dead. In the shirts that you got from your medicine man, were said to stop bullets was a cowboy with a big shiny gun. And if you had red skin, well, you had to die. It was only a game, but we never knew why. Now all of you heroes, you're now dead and gone. You're only remembered in stories and songs. Yesterday's people on yesterday's plains. Everything's different now. Nothing has changed. Well, they sold their movies and we bought their lies, but our heroes were the ones that we grew to despise. Why, the great white father had blood on his hands, and he broke all his treaties. He took all your lands. Then they buried you all in a mighty big hole, without any respect for your body or soul. When the great carbine guns rained down misery, and you died in the snow that day at Wounded Knee. Now all of you heroes, you're now dead and gone. You're only remembered in stories and songs. Yesterday's people on yesterday's plains. Everything's different now, but nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. No, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
Your wife?